recording. Okay, so now we're recording, and we're going to make sure that this doesn't die out.
Right.
So, but yeah, like I was saying, is like, I don't know what my problem is. It's like I can't keep my mind on, like, where my water's at and temperature when I start making my coffee. So, I'll be sitting there, and next thing I know, my water's boiling, and I'm making instant coffee. And, like, I have a ceramic cup, so this thing gets hot as hell. So I have to sit there and hold it with, like, 2 fingers like this and be like, yeah, today we're going to show you our methods for painting ghost-ish figures or, like, haunted. And there's a few ways to do it, and you'd be surprised how easy it is. You saw me do one on a live yesterday, and that was more of a try to, figure out different ways to get it done, and I did find different ways. These are 2 of Chris's ways. This is one of mine, right here. Not to, gotta keep them separated. And then I have this one back here. I don't know if you can see. Well, you should be able to see. I use a lot of object source lighting. I like to use object source lighting for ghosts.
I'm not quite there yet with that skill, so I'm just making that one big ghost is it wouldn't throw any extra light from its ghosty weapons, in my opinion.
Well,
but that's just how I paint it.
I like to think ghost is more of ethereal, and because there's like a mist quality that, like, the light from the hammer will show up in the mist of the actual weaponry. Mostly, in my mind, it's a, even if they're ghosts, they may be intangible, but there has to be something there to be visible.
Right.
So, light would emanate.
But, you do you.
Oh, absolutely.
Paint it how you want to paint.
Absolutely.
Paint it how you want to see it.
See, then what I'm going to do is not going to have this one's not going to have any object source lighting at all. Like, it's just going to be a ghostly visage. Yours is primed with what?
These are out of the box Vallejo primers from Nolzur's. So it's just pre-primed, ready to go.
And mine,
you can buy these at any friendly local game store.
Yeah. Mine is actually really simple. It's 2 different coats because I really wanted white, and that's actually a pretty nice white.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's Corax or Wraithbone?
This is actually ceramite.
Oh.
It's ceramite white. The first layer was done with a thinning medium that I made that acts like contrast medium. And then the second one was done with the Lamaine medium matte and just coated on there and dried with the hairdryer method.
Nice. So,
and the reason I like this is do you mind if I grab this?
Yeah, go for it.
Is if you look at the temperature difference, this is more of a gray. It's kind of a gray earth tone as I knock the camera. Mine's more of a white, like a chunky white. You can see it looks like it has texture.
Yeah, almost like a chalk.
Yeah. And the reason I like this method for, like, especially since we're going to be using a lot of technicals, is this will hold on to technicals significantly better than a flat primer.
Yes, it will. It absolutely will.
And it gives you more option for texture, which is awesome. It also, like I said, I do things to get the most out of whatever the hell it is I'm trying to do. It is a longer process to do that.
Right.
I mean, if you have a hairdryer, obviously it's not going to take as long.
Hopefully the hairdryer box fan we have set up next to the computer will help.
Right. Wait, where did you set that up at?
Right over there.
Oh, nice. If you do hear my hairdryer go off, it's because I'm an idiot and I don't do simple. Also, I gotta show this.
Depth.
Yeah, one of the. I actually won this, even though I wasn't trying to win, but Troll Tooth Productions has an Arntar enamel pin that you might be able to even get your hands on if you go to Troll Tooth Productions on Facebook and talk to them about buying it. It's a great pin. It is. It's a beautiful pin. I love it. They are huge supporters of our channel. Like, I know Jennifer and Justin both kind of go out of their way to watch our lives and like our videos, and they promote us, and hopefully as much as we promote them, but I know they probably promote us a lot more. And one thing I got to say about Troll Tooth Productions, if you have kids, they have a lot of really cool stuff just for kids.
Good to know.
Like I'm
getting so sick of Peppa Pig.
The R&R Troll and the stuff they do for kids is great. They're all about educating kids while keeping it fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's done in a D&D style way, so even us nerds can sit there and watch a lot of their shows with our kids and be like, oh, I know that's a word I've used before, and then it gives you a way to bond with your kid in a way that you never would have thought.
Nice.
And they have cool little projects. If you go to Troll Tooth Productions and you message them about some of their art materials, they can send. They'll give you some pages that they print out for R&R from their coloring book. You can even buy their coloring book.
Oh, nice.
So a great way to introduce them into painting and colors and all that. So yeah, always check them out. Troll Tooth Productions is great, and share their stuff with your friends. Hey Nikki, what's going on, bud? Hello to you, my good sir. Yeah, Nikki's watching. Nikki's a customer of the Save Point. Great guy, great kid. Loves Gundam.
That is something I've never been able to get into. As much as I love Transformers,
dude,
like Power Rangers,
he
and all
actually
kinds of big mecha stuff.
The first time we talked, the first time Nikki and I talked, it was about custom painting Gundam models, and he gave one to the shop. He gave one to me for the shop to paint custom, and it's that Gundam that was over there. Yeah, and and hopefully he's he's going to proceed on his own. He's doing his thing his way, which is awesome, which is what we're all about. And it's good to see you on a live, man. I appreciate you. He's probably listening with earbuds while he's doing his own stuff. Right. All right, so this is kind of what we're going to be showing you today, give you some tips and tricks. If you notice, both of us have our own way of doing things, little things that will change, how these things are viewed, and what kind of ghostly visage they have. So, which one are you going to do?
So, I've got two, so I figure I could trade off when we're each doing our own thing and waiting for stuff to dry. So I've got one that I'm going to do in the ethereal green style, one tabaxi, and then the other tabaxi will be in the more bluish style.
So you're going to use one in the more green one?
Right, kind of like what I did here with the examples.
Perfect.
So question for you, do you thin your technicals?
No. God, no.
Same. Good. Okay.
They're thin enough, man. Yeah. Like technicals are like one step away from a contrast.
Oh god, my nickel oxide. I thought it was like watered down when I first got it. I was like, what?
That's horrible.
All right, so
yes, Gundam Barbados, and it's still here. It's still in the shop, and it's awesome. I love that Gundam. I mean, I used to be a huge Gundam Death Scythe Hell Custom fan, but that Gundam really did it for me.
What's the delay on here?
I don't know. Were you counting?
No.
I think it's like a...
There I am. Okay. Just making sure I'm in the shot.
I think you're getting out of camera range with that one. If worse comes to worse...
Yeah, we could just watch it on the bigger one.
Well, at least you know where you're at there.
Okay. All right, cool. So if you don't mind...
As a matter of fact, so we can watch the comments, we'll just go like that.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so I've got Night Haunt Gloom, which is kind of a slate bluish grayish coloration.
Yeah. It is a very slate gray color.
And please don't sue me, Mickey Mouse. This color I tend to attribute to like Haunted Mansion style ghosts, where it's more of a bluish.
Yeah, this would definitely fit into the blue-gray hue that's used by a lot of like Disney-ish style artists.
Yeah, versus the green, which I see kind of as the more
See, you're
Scooby-Doo.
using a really thin brush for something that's just supposed to be kind of slapped on. Like, you could have used a broader brush.
I could have.
And it would have gone a lot faster.
I could have.
See how we critique each other? I like, when I'm putting on base layers, I like to just be able to slap it on and just watch it do its thing. I am not trying to do anything with my time. Just, hey, we got this down.
Well, for me, I feel like, it might just be all in psychosomatic drying, but I feel like if it takes me longer to paint it, it dries while I'm painting it, because I'm an impatient bugger.
Well, I mean, that's why we have the hair dryer and the fan.
I know, that's why we brought all the gear this time.
But, well, one of the thing is the really funny thing about painting, like, ghost or apparitions or something like that. You have your blue-green method, and you have your blue-gray method, and you have your, like in theory, you can make anything ghost-like with any color. And it's all about, what ends up happening is your base colors there is more of it's a transitory color.
Yep.
It's there to kind of give substance to the fact that, oh, it's a ghost. It's your dry brushing. Slap, pow, paint. Yes, that's how I do it. Nikki knows. He knows the secrets of the paint nerds. So, like, you could theoretically do the whole thing in red.
Yeah.
And using, like, and I hate saying this, but almost every color, unless it's something that just blends in with white, can be used to make white dry brushing can make the ghostly appearance. And it's the dry brushing that kills you. You know, a lot of people would just be like, oh, this color right here is fine, that's a ghost because it's a very stark white. And you could throw on a little bit of a Newland oil.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And it's got all of its temperatures there, and it'll darken this up a little bit. But there's a way to give it more of a gloom.
Yeah, like that would actually work really well if you were going for like a grayscale monochrome, like black and white movie style.
Yeah.
Which, like, I hate to like. I think like some of the undead Warhammer.
You know, if you're gonna do a blue, I think I'm just gonna do greens. I think I'm just gonna do a straight up green.
Okay.
Like ectoplasmic coloring.
Okay. So that's layer 1.
Night Haunt Gloom. Yay,
yep,
layers.
Just straight Night Haunt Gloom. Kind of just slapped on there. Nothing too fancy.
I gotta figure out why my phone's blowing up. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. Oh, just so you know, Stephanie, my wife, did her state osteology exam today.
Nice.
And apparently she aced the facial.
Awesome.
And we're pretty confident that she aced her, or at least passed her makeup portion. And I'm pretty sure she did a just smash-up job on her written.
Cool.
So, congratulations, Boo Boo. We're proud of you.
Good work. So, it's not, I don't have complete coverage, but that's okay because I am going to go over this a little bit with a shade to kind of blend it all together. So, don't worry if you have any holiday spots, as my grandpa used to call them, because those will all come out in the wash. Yep. Literally.
All right, I'm going to be using Hexwraith Flame. Again, another technical, just like Night Haunt Gloom. And I'm going to be going with a broader brush, mostly to spite Chris. And I don't have a really cool base for mine because I'm cheap and bases. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to be doing it in green. And one of the things you're going to find is this stuff is going to literally set in all the recesses and give it's going to sit in the recesses, and it's going to give all the little angles and all the little add-ons a lot of like deep color, like right here in the shoulder. But it's not going to be... Yeah, absolutely. If you want to change out the water, you can. I mean, I'm going to be doing this for a minute. So... And again, like the same methods that are being used between the Nighthaunt Gloom, the Hex Wraith Flame, are outside of colors are going to be almost identical. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. We're just globbing paint on. It's almost acting like a contrast paint, just throwing it on there, letting the darker spots settle into the recesses.
Yep. And like you can go multiple layers with this if you wanted to. Like there's nothing stopping you from. And if you notice, we're still painting down.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the big things that we've always said, I mean, outside of like miscellaneous circumstance, like some spaces, we're still painting in a downward motion. And I can't stress that enough. Down is kind of, you know, like to put our paint down. Oh my God, that was a horrible joke. I will never say that again. I apologize to everybody watching. That was horrible, and I should not be allowed to make jokes. I'm not equipped.
We need to draw like a box that is in the frame. Just 5 minutes later. Oh, hey.
I mean, I'm literally just slapping on paint. I mean, there's no real need to go into a super detail as to what I'm doing and why. Like, it's literally just throwing as much paint into this area as possible. This around a little bit. There's that little spot right there.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. Hate it.
You know what would really come in handy?
Huh?
A finer point brush.
Hey, you know what would really be handy? You stop telling me how to friggin' paint. What is wrong with me today? God, that came out a lot more dickish than I wanted it to. I apologize to everybody. Normally, Chris and I are very, very good friends.
We're still good friends.
Oh, yeah.
We're just sniping at each other.
Oh, yeah. And your boy that came in with you the other day.
Mike?
Yeah. I'm surprised he doesn't watch us just to...
He does.
Oh, does he?
He watches.
Oh, Jesus. Hi, Mike.
He gives me the review at our D&D sessions.
Oh, yeah? What's been his little addendums? You guys talk too much.
Yeah.
Shut up, Mike. Why don't you get a YouTube channel, Mike? He's gonna be.
We're gonna find a raccoon loose in the store.
I'll train it. Don't even test me. I'll train it. Okay, mine is as done as it's gonna be for not having a base. So I'm gonna use the hairdryer method to dry this off.
All right.
So it might get a little loud.
While that's happening, I'm gonna do my greener tabaxi. I'm sorry, cat person.
You can say tabaxi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you can't say it's your creation. You're painting
okay.
a tabaxi.
Yes.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right, so this time I will be using a slightly larger brush. Also using the Hex Wraith Flame.
Copycat.
Yep. And yeah, just globbing it on there.
And you saw in the live video, the hair dry might be a little louder, but the mixture of heat and air passing over it helps the paint dry a lot faster.
Yeah.
His method of using the desk fan is also very good because it's moving air slower and it's actually helping the paint settle. While with this method, if I were to use like the super heat, super speed version, like my paint will get streaked.
Yeah.
Like horribly. Wow, this came out patchy as hell. But I can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, it's step one.
Yep.
You know? Essentially, this is like our base coat, what we're going to build upon. So if you're expected to come out perfect on the first, in step one.
Yeah, no, that's not how that ever works. I don't think you and I have ever had something come out perfect on step one.
No, that's why it's step one. If it came out perfect on step one, it would be
Done.
just done. Yeah. It would be do this and let it dry.
No, but to our friend Mike, and he is actually genuinely our friend.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He runs his own pest control company, which is awesome. And the reason we say that's why we said, we're going to find a raccoon loose in the shop one day, is because he does actually have access to wild animals that he could, if he wanted to be a jerk, release them into the shop. I mean, I don't think he would. I think there's some ethics violation on that one. I mean, it wouldn't stop him. I mean, I wouldn't hold it against him either. I'd probably just laugh. Get a call. Why is there a wild, animal in the shop? I must have pissed Mike off.
Mike out on the stream. Sorry, Chris.
So, Chris, if you're watching this and you wild animals in the shop, you can legit blame us because we're probably the reason it happened.
Yeah. All right. So, quick and dirty, just slapping the paint on. Nothing too fancy. I'm going to set this up to dry.
Yeah, and if we can get up to, I'm thinking if we get up to like 100 followers on YouTube and on the Facebook page, I'm thinking about making a custom paint mat as a giveaway.
I'll throw in a free mini of some variety painted to their desire.
Actually,
I'll throw in a Hero Forge mini.
Actually, you know what? I'll do one better.
Okay.
Since this is I'll even base this thing, but my piece de resistance right here. I will give, if we can get to 100 followers or more on YouTube, and we can get 150 followers on Facebook.
Okay.
Not only will I make a silicone mat just like this for you to paint on. You give up a custom painted mini, and I will give up this custom painted mini with its base.
Sold.
So a mat, 2 custom painted minis, and
that's like $1 billion value right there.
Yep, and everybody who is currently following and liking and watching our stuff, all the way up to the 150 mark, and we'll give it a week, since we go about a week or two between videos, and I will get this thing professionally based and set up.
Yep, and it'll be your design. Tell me what you want, like. I want an elf archer. Well, I'll make you a damn elf archer, and you'll be involved every step of the way on this custom mini.
I want to be a belf archer.
A belf archer or a mel?
You know what belf means, right? Think World of Warcraft.
Big boob elf?
No, Jesus. Good try, though. No, belf was blood elf.
Oh.
Yeah.
I barely played WoW.
Well, so yeah, if we can get up to 100,
100 on YouTube, 150 on Facebook.
Yep. I will put a random drawing together, all computer generated, so I won't have any thing to do about it. And we'll pick one winner.
Maybe just roll a D100.
I mean, we could, but I'd rather do computer generated so it's truly random. Even though a D100 is random, there are variances and things.
Okay.
People could complain about that, but when it's computer generated, people are less likely to argue.
I mean, it's your pot of silicon, so
I mean,
it's your call.
Now, one thing I could be using, but I'm not, is my sticky tack on a flat surface to hold my dude. Like, I could put it on my little pill case right here for my Tylenol and just kind of stick him in like that. And I can paint on him like that if I really felt the need. I should be doing that. I'm probably going to do it from here on out. But sticky tack is like $4 at a store, and you can reuse it. And if you do get paint on it, I'm going to teach you a cool little trick with this stuff. If you get paint on it, just pull it like this and then fold it in. Make sure you see it turn white, and just keep going like this. And you'll be able to wind it up, and the paint will disappear, and it'll get really, really tacky again.
Nice.
And you just let it set, and you're good to go.
Word up.
That's one of my little tips and tricks. All right. Is your blue dude.
Bluey should be ready to go.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm getting a lot of dings. And yes, monochrome is pretty cool. The problem with monochrome, Nikki, is it doesn't have depth. And when you're dealing with a three-dimensional object, and it has to, even though you're trying to do something that is spooky and is predominantly one color, you need to add other colors to kind of give it life. And you run into issues where like the stuff you're doing looks good, but it's missing that thing, and that thing is usually something to add to the dimension. But yes, monochrome is a great way to go.
It's really cool, like, if your whole board setup is monochrome, that's going to look freaking awesome. It's going to look like an old-timey, like, movie.
Yeah.
But, like, otherwise, it's a very limited wow factor, because otherwise it just looks like you just threw white and Nolan oil on a Benny and called it a day.
Yeah, and well, in retrospect, it's what you did.
Yeah, I mean, it has its place, but it looks really cool situationally.
See, I'm going to be doing another OSL video where I actually take one of the miniatures and paint it just jet black. I'm going to do the slightly darker black,
right? And
then the hammer is going to be like a pink, and just pink object source lighting.
That would be pretty
and
sweet.
then using white to kind of do the trailing ends, the reflective ends.
Okay. So I'm going over my mini now with some Celia Green Shade, which is like a turquoisey kind of shade paint. And it's going to go in and fill in any of those little white spots that I miss, and also give it a little bit more definition as it pools into the recesses, because the Night Haunt Gloom doesn't really pool as well as, say, the Hex Wraith.
You know, if you're doing that, you could have done Drakenhof Nightshade.
I could have.
I mean,
I know. I just like the way this looks. I tried it on another one back home. And I just prefer how this looks.
Hey, never let anything get in your way. Now, one thing you're going to notice, especially the way we communicate with each other, is like we'll sit there and we'll talk trash to each other. But we're absolutely not doing it to hurt each other's feelings. It's just we're accustomed to each other and the way we work. So what ends up happening is we end up. Oh wow,
we missed a lot.
Wow. Let's see. Downsizing, as in minis. Lol. I'm bad with joke. I mean, we didn't hear the jokes. Greener fields of ghosts.
How do you turn all? How do we not get?
Step number 1: raccoon without the rocket. No, knowing Mike, he'd give it a rocket.
Yeah.
So like show 2D turning 3D. Yeah. What it is you're creating an effect, and that effect is making the object, instead of making it look like you can see through it, it actually has mass. If you look at ghosts in like TV shows and stuff like that, it's a physical person, but they do like movie magic to make it non-corporeal.
Ghostbusters is like the textbook on that, because
you can see it and you can kind of see through it.
Yeah.
Nice. Very, very nice.
So
that green does really well inside the creases.
Right?
I like that. I like that a lot.
So I'm going to switch him out for my greenie.
All right. And I'm going to... See, now that we've got this dried out and moved around, you can see it's already got that... The white is showing up underneath a lot of it. So... this is where things get a little awkward for me in my method. And you're going to see why here in a minute. I'm going to use what's called Tesseract Glow. Now, I love Tesseract Glow more than I like, and I've already told Chris this, but I like Tesseract Glow more than I like Hex Wraith. Hex Wraith absolutely has its place. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit like the white spots with like where I see a lot of different like white. I'm going to be hitting with that my Tesseract Glow, because Tesseract Glow, amazingly enough, will actually, you know what? Screw the little brush. We're going all in. I'm going all in on this. All right. So I'm actually going to load up my brush, and we're just going to go over the whole thing.
Nice.
Because I realized one little aspect of Tesseract Glow while I was doing that, and what I actually kind of forgot to do is, there, now I can see my stuff. I'm not trying to be all awkward. I am socially awkward, but, I mean...
I feel like
but you can still
news.
see the white coming through on the Tesseract Glow. See how you can still see the white coming through, which is going to add another glowy depth to the color. And you're going to see where the Hex Wraith Flame is strongest is going to just be a darker green. So this is also going to limit just the sheer amount of white I'm going to have to dry brush in the end of it all. I'm waiting for Mike to come storming in and just like, fire no! Next thing you know, we're going to have to combat a wild raccoon and his maniacal laughter all at the same time. I don't think we're prepared for that.
Yeah, it's my day off. I don't deal with animals on my day off. My cat and my human, that's about all I need to do.
But you see, like, right there on the back of the calf, right there. Pull it back a little bit so it focus. You see the white coming through, even though I have this really bright green on this particular model. Tesseract Glow will not, like, overstretch anything, but it's adding that extra ectoplasmy glow. And make sure Nikki isn't like talking to us, because I apologize for that. That was wholly my fault on that. God, I ignored somebody watching our video. I feel so bad, dude. Like, I feel emotionally bad over that.
Now it's auto scrolling. I think we had scrolled up a little bit earlier, so it wouldn't auto scroll. Now that we're at the bottom, hopefully it'll auto scroll down.
Hopefully. And yes, the 3D effect is still there. The white is still very obvious. It's just taking on a more yellow hue. Get that in there. So yeah, you're really not losing anything by doing it this way. It's just you're really having to kind of just jam paint into little nooks and crannies that, you know, had I done it right the first time, wouldn't be having this conversation. But yeah, as it stands, that would about do my second layer. And just like that, it doesn't look like much. Haha. But you can see where some of the white is still available. You can still see a lot of the... You can still see a lot of the white. And when we start doing the, you know, the dry brushing, you're going to see a lot of other colors kind of pop out. So I'm going to turn on the hairdryer. It's probably going to get loud. And Chris will be the next one up with whatever model he's got going.
So I grabbed my green tabaxi again. And
You can just adjust the camera wherever you want, man.
So it doesn't really read well on the camera, but it's got a really bright green finish. And honestly, you could call this done and call it a day, and nobody's gonna tell you anything.
We will, though.
We would, yeah. So I'm gonna follow it up like what I did with Blue Guy, with some Celia Green Shade. And once again, it's going to get into the recesses more, and that'll make all of your raised areas pop against the contrast of the darker bluish green. And I'm only like going back to the paint pot 1 or 2 times after my initial after I start. I'm just moving around what's already there from that initial blob, so you don't really worry too much about muddying up and over saturating the model with the bluer paint.
And that's something a lot of people are going to run into. This one looks similar to Lady Liberty color. Yes. Yeah,
that patina.
That patinaed copper. Absolutely.
Oh, and it's like thinning out. It's like reverse dry brushing. It's like pulling the paint off. That actually looks cool. I don't know how I did that. But
the paint wasn't fully dry.
Oh, well, it looks cool.
That's exactly how paint comes off, is when you... what happened, and what he's talking about actually happens, is if you look right here on the thighs of the pants, right there, he has it in front of a cold air fan. So that cold air fan is only pushing cold air to help things evaporate. Now, I was hitting this with a hairdryer. Notice the difference in textures of the paint. This looks drier and kind of like stucco-y, right? It's very matte. Well, what happened is because I used heat, I evaporated the water portion out of the paint. So when you take the water out of the paint as it dries harder. Cold air doesn't have that effect. So the cold air was basically drying some of it, and when you went to brush over it, you added water back into it, pulling the original paint stroke away.
And in any other application, I'd have been pissed. But
happy accident, man.
Yeah. because we're doing ghosts, that works really cool.
Hey baby, I'm in the middle of a video. I'm live on a video, baby. Love you. Mwah. Bye.
Chaz's better half is checking in.
Yeah. Well, she's actually coming back from Baton Rouge.
Okay.
So. Baton Rouge.
So yeah, happy accidents. In this case, worked out really, really well.
Yeah, I do like that. You hit that with some white, kind of dry brush some white over that.
That's the next step.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna let it dry a little bit longer though.
You want to use the hairdryer?
Yeah, time? I think so.
See, that's one of the things is when you get into painting and you get yourself into a community of painters, you're gonna find 1 or 2, maybe 4 people where you could sit there and just make jokes and be like, So you want to try it this way now? And you'll get the whole ass. Because we're always trying something different. We're always trying something new. We're always trying to you know, do more or be better.
And honestly, on the scale of 0 to Star Wars fandom, as far as toxic communities go, this is like 1.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the miniature, there's a Facebook group called Miniature Painting Noobs. Like, okay, there's a lot of people that are not noobs on there. They're just showing off their work, which is great.
But they're always helping people.
Yeah,
though.
we are always helping each other out.
It's always, oh, try this. Oh, do that.
Like somebody will put, like, I'm not happy with this. I'm like, look, it looks great. You need to get some lamine medium and thin it out with that, and it'll clear up your brush strokes. That's the only thing I can recommend, because otherwise that looks on point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the reason why I think one of the main reasons why the painting and mini communities are so lack of toxicity is we realize that nobody's perfect. And that perfection genuinely doesn't exist in our medium.
We all follow the rules of Bob Ross.
You know, yeah. I have nothing more to add. The Bob Ross rule exists. Let's see. Wish Gunpla community was more of a 1 rather than a 2 or 3. Well, here's the thing about Gunpla is it's based off of a lot of anime fans.
That's where the hair dryer.
It only goes this far. You're gonna have
Okay.
to.
That's
kind of, like I have it. It's tentatively. It just. You know what?
I'll move it over to the station.
Yeah. Perfect. Just perfect. You're gonna find that anything that has a rabid fandom like Gunpla or
Star Wars.
like Star Wars, anime,
Disney theme parks. Oh God, don't change things.
you're gonna find that you're gonna have a very vehement community driven to make things their way, and a lot of people are of the mindset that if the original creator made it this way, any alteration to said work is an abomination.
Even if it's the original creator making those changes.
Yeah. Once you've said something is canon, it's canon. Don't mess with it. The painting community doesn't have that issue very much. It's we do get a couple people where it's like, oh, well, I could do that with an airbrush. Well, then go do it with, and the one comment you'll find, well, then go do it with an airbrush. And I think it's humorous when we get that 1 or 2 toxic people come in talking about how their skill is great. It's like, well, then why don't you put up or shut up, dude? And you'll find that the toxic people kind of come in and they'll be like, oh, well, I could do that, da-da-da-da-da. Well, put up your work, dude. Show us what you've done.
Show me what you got.
Yeah, and instead of getting swifty, we get shitty. You know, like, we turn that toxicity back at you. It's like, oh, well, you did a good job here, but where's your highlights? Oh, you did this really cool here. That's zenithal. We could tell that, you know, you really put some thought into it, but where's your gradient? You know, like, if you want to sit there and critique somebody in the painting world, you had better come up with some impeccable stuff, because we will critique the hell out of you if you come at us with attitude. And that's because, you know, Bob Ross kind of set the rules for painting of everything is good, everything is right in your own way. So I have this.
That mofo could paint with a knife.
Yeah, right?
Who paints with a knife?
Bob Ross, apparently. So I have this. You can see where I have the temperature gradients in the green. You can see where I have, you know, the different changes in hues between the Hex-Wraith Flame and the Tesseract Glow. So now comes the fun part for me, where I get to dry brush. And I'm going to do some light dry brushing on this, mostly because heavy dry brushing is going to ruin it. So I got to be real careful. Actually, you know what? I'm going to test a theory. See what I did there? I mixed some of my ceramite white with Tesseract Glow, and so that way I'm going to have a lot of green. So I'm actually going to go and I'm going to dry brush gently against, just to get the raised edges. Now if the owner of the store were here, he would have had this thing dry brushed in a second. I am not that good. I am still very, very noobish when it comes to dry brushing, and I am proud to admit that, because I can admit my faults. I actually like that.
Yeah.
That is
working.
That right. So now what I'm gonna do is, you want your air. You want your dry brushing to kind of hit at an angle, so that way that it's kind of streaky, like you see emanation, not just the raised edges. So what I like to do is I'll sit there and I'll literally just dry brush at an angle like this over the whole piece, and I'll skip spaces. So that way, now let that focus in real quick. Now see how it's got those streaks in there? They're at an angle. So it kind of looks like there's energy coming down to create that particular hello God. So once you get that, then you can go and you can touch up and dry brush your sharp edges, like the boots here. What I like to do with the boots is I'll literally put the boot away from me and I'll strike down like that. See how it caught just those raised edges? And then I'll do the same thing facing me, just at a smaller angle, and there you go, you've got your boot highlighted. And then I'll literally come across this part of the leg where there's a little emblem, and I will gently Jesus, I keep going to airbrush. I'll gently dry brush that just to get the raised edges. And you know, I try to focus a lot of energy just to get that raised edge, just like that. And then I go to the spots where I know I'm going to need a lot of extra dry brushing, and I try to pinpoint and basically strike just the spots I know that are going to need that extra little oomph to kind of carry out my little design. Like I'll come in here and I'll, you know, come across it like this, come across here, come across here. And my boots are pretty much done. I mean, they have their little design on them, which is perfect. So as I'm going, I will literally like create little effects, like on the shin. It's energy coming up. You can, and when you see it move in the camera, you can see where it looks like energy creating this creature as a ghost. And we'll do a little dry brushing on the handle, do a little dry brushing on the, you know, raised edges of the hammer. See, it's got that more energy, and I'm genuinely just trying to make it look like energy, creating all this, creating this spectral entity. The backpack gets a little bit. Now the downside is this stuff dries real quick. So I gotta make a little bit more, and hopefully I find the texture I'm looking for, and I'm totally doing this the wrong way.
Yeah, you're contaminating it.
Shh.
You're crossing the streams, man.
Just let it happen. Oh, there we go. A little lighter white to a little lighter green. I'm good with that, actually. That's actually kind of nice. So again, I'm just gonna be gentle. Don't rush, because this will make or break your piece right here. So get a little bit of a streak going here, get a little bit of a angle going here on the pauldron, on the bell. And then I'm going to do the same thing going across this wrap, this little dude here. I'm going to find little spots where I can kind of dust it a little bit, give this a little more depth, go across the head. I'm not trying to take away all the green, I'm just trying to create that imagery of energy doing its job. You know, so some of this stuff is gonna fade in a way that, you know, some people won't like. Give that a little dusting of that yellow right there to kind of take the fade off of it. And then we'll come across here, and I'm almost done. I'm almost done with my little spooky dude. Get in here. And again, when you come at an angle, it literally just does that little streaky bit. And voila, my alternate green is done.
Alternative green?
Yep. And in the midst of you doing your stuff, this will take its time to dry.
So I'm doing a little bit differently. Going to be doing dry brushing layers, because the colors I'm going to be using to dry brush are going to kind of muddy in with the color of the mini. So to keep them a little bit more vibrant, I'm going to dry brush with Frixetti White, which is a dry brush paint from Citadel.
It does a great job with whites, though.
Yeah.
I just don't think I have any. I think that's why I chose to use ceramite, because I like the powdery look it has. One thing you're not getting, because, I mean, we're painting, is the fact that like my dry brush style looks powdery, so it kind of looks like it is a ghost. It's very powdery, like it barely has substance.
Right.
Where I find that when you use sharper, vibrant colors that dry with that thin line, it doesn't look. It looks like it's a shade, like a shadow version of a character, not an actual ghost of a character.
Which would still be pretty cool, actually.
Oh no, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything
Dark
bad
Lake
about
style?
it. Yeah, exactly. And I like that powdery look. I like the fact that it looks like energy is coalesced in a spot to create this particular entity. Where the way this is going, it looks like it's a shade version of a tabaxi shade, like some necromancer took the shadow of a tabaxi and gave it life.
Yeah.
And that would actually scare the hell out of me a lot more than my stuff. Like, my dude come walking at me, I'm a ghost.
Ooh. No, you're not. You're old man Jimmy Fall. I don't know. That's just the first name that came into my head.
We're going to get sued so bad. But, you know, the hammer comes down and it doesn't hurt. Why? Because it doesn't have any real substance. You know, but a shade, a living shadow, I'm pretty sure has freaking substance and would kill me.
So that's with the white dry brush paint,
which is dope, by the way.
So I'm gonna give this a little bit of time to, not so much to dry, but to settle while I go grab.
Hey, can I borrow some of your Frixetti, right? Oh, I'm gonna use my brush. I'm gonna contaminate your stuff with my brush.
You better don't.
Can you freaking don't? So I'm actually gonna come up here. God, this stuff just doesn't really like to move, does it?
No, but that's why it's perfect for dry brushing, because it doesn't let you oversaturate.
So I'm going to test a theory on mine while he's getting his stuff prepared. Well, hey, Bubba.
Hey, buddy. I know you're a quart low right now.
So let's see. We're going to gently dry brush some of the off areas with white to kind of, I know what I'm gonna do. Watch this, the angular streak for energy, just break it up a little bit, boom boom. That powdery look is right there, so I can actually create that. I like that white. I can actually create that, you know, hard energy edge that I enjoy making. So yeah, it gives you that solid hitting color without a whole lot of must, man. Like, I like that. That is a thing of beauty. I'm gonna have to get me some. So then I can create my energy streak that way. Boom, boom, boom. Let's put some white up in there. Hit that. Let's hit that. Oh. I don't know why I'm so happy. Like,
because you're dry brushing. You're doing it, Peter.
And that's how you ruin it. So now we just try to get that in. Ooh, that's a pretties. It's so pretty. And haha. Got a little more energy to it. Let's see if we can get it to focus and translate, shall we? Time for your close-up, Mr. Camera.
Nope, just had it. It's like I want to tap the screen like I do on my phone to get it to focus, but I know it doesn't work that way.
Oh well, I'll just leave it there. At some point, it's going to have to focus. Energy! Yes, enter guy. And the reason I didn't do the object source lighting is I did enough video of that yesterday. I just wanted to create a nice little cool visual of a ghosty-ish figure.
All right, so the next couple of steps are going to be kind of in rapid succession since it's all kind of dry brushing. Where am I? There I am. So just, again with the white paint dry brush, just going over it. And yeah, like going over it while it was still wet really did do a lot of the work for me.
He says that, but in the back of his mind, he's like, stupid, stupid.
A little bit.
Because in the back of my mind, I'm going, oh, damn it. Yeah, I feel for you, man. So, and it is a happy accident. That was a happy accident because that definitely.
That would have frustrated the hell out of me if this was for like any other application.
See, I like the way that Praxetti white goes on the green though. That definitely did it for me.
And for me, it's a little bit too white, so I'm going to go over it with some a green dry brush. And for the blue guy, I'm going to go over it with skink blue, like it's a light blue. That way it won't be quite. It'll still have a little bit of white on there for the etherealness of it, but it won't be quite as shocking.
And my next step is Baccarat blue.
Which is like practically the same color, just different consistency.
Yeah.
Versus, yeah. Wonder Twin powers.
Wonder blue powers activate. Does that make us? Never mind. I'm gonna stay.
Yep. Let's just not even acknowledge it.
Nope. Didn't happen. It's not even a thing.
All right. So got my skink blue out. And this was like the very first dry brush paint that I ever picked up. I was completely confused by it. So it's given kind of a like bluey haze to it now.
And that's how I'm going to be using the Baccarat blue for the same thing. Give it a little bit of blue to kind of give a transition between the green and the white.
Almost like an astral projection kind of deal to it.
See, that would still scare the hell out of me if I saw that.
It's like Splinter.
We're making force ghosts. Awesome. Ooh. I think I know how to make Force Ghosts.
Is it this, but with more light blue?
No. I can create a contrast Baharoth blue.
That would do it, yeah.
On a white, stark white.
Or a clear one.
No, stark white. You use stark white as a base. Then you use Baharoth blue and contrast medium. And then you just basically brush over it, and then you just dry brush in Prec City white.
All right, so that's blue guy done.
All right, and I'm gonna get on with my Baharoth blue, so you can take a break.
I'm shaking up a dry paint
because we're trained to shake up paints. Like we've trained ourselves that we have to,
Actually, I'm going to sneak in one little bit because this is just a little quick blasting it.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'm gonna.
And yeah, I'm not even really, like, you can barely even make out that there's any green in this dry paint. And that's what you want. You want it to just accent it, or just give the suggestion of it.
Give a wee hint.
Exactly. All right, I'm good.
So what I'm doing is I'm actually taking my Baharoth blue, and I'm literally just striking certain areas to kind of make a gradient of energy. So it's not like, oh, this is a wholehearted, piece. You got to get that transition, that glint. So I'm just being really ginger and streaking some of it all around to kind of trick the eye into thinking that there's extra energy in there and it's going from blue to green, even though it's really not. It's just some pieces are a little more edged than others. Is that Mike?
No, I'm trying to take pictures and post them to the video stream, but it won't let me comment a picture.
So yeah, with a little bit of blue in there, you got the energy transitions, you've got the whites you got some streaky whites, you've got some blue to kind of soften up your edges, and no one can really tell you that, oh, that's not how they look, because have you ever seen a ghost? No, so shush. Yeah, and that's my ghost, just in a nutshell. I'm gonna go across the face a little bit. There we go, There we go. Kind of made the face a little more, viable. Yeah, that's my ghost. I mean, that would be enough to make me go, Again, no object source lighting. I apologize. I'm a horrible human being, but I did a lot of that yesterday.
Right. Don't want to oversaturate it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, one of the many things that you're going to find is, you got a lot of people. Jesus, man. I'm in the middle of a stream, people. But I'm very popular. I don't even know why. You're going to find that... Alright, I'm putting this up so they can see our ugly faces.
Hold up your guy. I'm going to... you jackass.
Now, one of the great many things that you find inside the painting community is we are actually here for each other, and it's great. It's like, maybe you can post pictures as a separate post, ghostly goodness. Hey, there you go.
I'm literally doing that as we speak.
Yeah, the reason I say a hint of it is the blue is there, but you want the rest of the colors to really play the part. The paint community is always like, especially with us. Feel free to send your stuff, your paint work,
absolutely,
over to our page, and one way or another we'll comment on it. Mostly because we know what it's like to. We know what it's like to actually, struggle in the paint community and try to do more. And wow, my mustache is all.
Yeah, I mean, I've got that going on. So.
Man, I just gave myself a haircut, so I'm practically bald. So we love the fact that you guys watch us, follow us, like us, all that other good stuff. We love the fact, yes, our videos are hour long, or stuff like that. So keep in mind that just because our videos are long, you can just skip through to the parts or like where we're actively painting and not talking. We don't care. As long as you're enjoying the painting, as long as you're learning, and as long as we're able to help, we've done what we feel that this channel is supposed to be doing, which is honestly helping you paint, helping you get techniques, showing you, how we go about things, so you can apply that to whatever you're painting, whether it be a birdhouse. I mean, that would be kind of cool, a ghost birdhouse.
A few years back, I picked up a haunted birdhouse from the Halloween Superstore. I never. It's just looks like an old swamp shack house.
Yeah, but couldn't you go out to the bayou and get a bunch of that wood and make it yourself? And I probably have an actual haunted.
I mean, it was resin, so.
Oh, yeah. So, again, we love you guys. I hope that we're giving you tools, and we're enjoying this. This is a great respite for us. It gives us a chance to hang out.
Yeah.
It gives us a chance to hang out with you, and it gives us a chance to pass on what we know, because knowledge like this should be passed on. It's not getting passed on in schools as much as it should be. It's not getting passed on. I mean, it's getting passed around the internet a lot. But knowledge is something that shouldn't be lost, and techniques shouldn't be lost. And the way we do things isn't always the way other people are going to do it.
I mean, this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Like, we use the same techniques, but with different types of paint.
And so for that, from my heart at least, to you guys, we love y'all, and
thanks for watching. Keep painting.
Yep.
As always, like, follow, share. We do our dance.
It's going to be over
subscribe.
here, probably.
Yeah. Hit me up at 504 Minis on the Facebook or Instagram. Always thanks to Troll Tooth Productions, the Save Point, and our spouses for putting up with our shenanigans. We love you, and see you next time.
Bye.